Uday Chandra Sri Chaitanya Chandra Sri Chaitanya Chandra Sri Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Chandra Jaya Gaura Govinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. So we are continuing from the next chapter today. We are starting the new chapter 25, Personal and Impersonal Realization. The Purans are supplementary Vedic literatures because sometimes in the original Vedas the subject matter is too difficult for common man to understand. The Purans explain matters by the use of stories and historical incidents. We hear this term a lot, Puranic Kahini, or story from the Puranic story. So that is what is mentioned that the Purans are like they are supplementary Vedic literatures because the Vedic literatures in itself are very difficult for common man to understand. Therefore there are stories and historical incidents that are mentioned in the Purans in order to make it easier or make it to be able to understand the actual subject matter of the Vedic literatures. Just like sometimes we eat uh, different fruits, vegetables, everything, but still sometimes we may see that we have some deficiency in minerals or some vitamins. So therefore, the doctor suggests us to take some supplements. So that is in addition to that, in order to support the system. So that is the same reason here. In Srimad Bhagavatam 10.14.32, it is stated, Maharaj Nand and cowherd men and the other inhabitants of Vrindavan are very fortunate because the Supreme Brahman, the personality of Godhead, who is full of bliss, is now engaged there in his eternal pastimes as their friend. Therefore, they are very fortunate. According to the verse beginning, Apani Pado Javano Grahita, Shvetashvatar Upanishad 3.19. Although Brahman has no material hands and legs, he nonetheless walks in a very stately way and accepts everything that is offered to him. We know the incident, the pastime of Sakshi Gopal, when two Brahmins, they were there was a young Brahmin and a very aged Brahmin. Now this aged Brahmin, he went for his yatra, and at that time this young Brahmin saw that the this aged Brahmin is very aged. How will he manage himself? Everything. So therefore, as a service, as a the quality of a Brahmin or a Vaishnava is that they want to serve other Vaishnavas, they want to serve other devotees. So, seeing that this a Brahmin is very aged, he decided that okay, let me serve him. So, he went along with this aged Brahmin for all the yatra, and he was serving him very nicely in the night. He would give nice massage. Then he would cook for this Brahmin. He would feed him nicely, take care of him. If the roads or some places were difficult for him to go by himself, then he would carry this aged Brahmin on his shoulders. So like that, he was serving very nicely. Then finally, they come um, to take darshan of Shakshi Gopal. And this Brahmin, uh, they were in where is this place? Mm, it is close to. It's called Vidyanagar, and at that time, um, so this Brahmin they were from Vidyanagar, and they went for darshan to Shakshi Gopal, which is in Vrindavan or Jagannath Puri. I'm getting a little confused in this. So, however, when they take darshan of Sakshi Gopal, this elderly Brahman, he was so pleased with the service of the younger Brahmin that out of great pleasure, he declares that, I have one daughter and I want my daughter to get married to you. I want to give my daughter as a, for all your services. I'm so pleased with you that this is the best that I can give you. So now this young Brahmin, he was a Brahmin. So Brahmins, they don't collect funds and they are not very rich. But this elderly Brahmin, because he was very rich, and he belonged to very high class. Therefore, he was very rich and opulent in his lifestyle, everything. So this young Brahmin, he said that, no, no, I don't want anything for my services. I'm serving you just to serve you, because you are a very senior Vaishnav, a very senior devotee. You are such a wonderful devotee of the Lord. Therefore, I'm serving you. I don't need anything. But the older Brahmin, he insists that no, 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 you have to accept this gift from me, my daughter, as in um, my daughter's hand in marriage. So this young Brahmini says that, are you sure that you want, because you are very rich, you come from a very rich, opulent background, and there is a possibility that your family members may not at all agree that your that their this daughter, your daughter should get married to such a poor person like me. I have nothing. I'm absolutely poor and I don't have anything, not even a proper house to live in. Are you sure that your family members will agree? So he was like, "Acha, okay, you want to give this your daughter's hand in marriage, but will your family members agree?" Because he's also a devotee, this young Brahmin. So the older Brahmin said, "Yes, yes, I will convince them. I will convince them. You don't worry." Now this young Brahmin, he thinks that when a Brahmin promises, it's very important that they keep their promise. Therefore, the young Brahmin, he says that, okay, since you are insisting on this, and because you have given me a promise, therefore I request you that please come and stand in front of Gopalji, and please take the promise in front of Gopal. So therefore, both these Brahmins, they stand in front of Gopal, and the older Brahmin, elderly Brahmin, he takes the promise in front of Gopal, that by being very pleased with the services that this young Brahmin has offered to me as a uh, as a reward, or as a gratitude, I want to offer my daughter's hand in marriage to this Brahmin. So like that he promised. And then they go back to their respective villages. Now, this young Brahmin, although he was not at all um, interested in anything, he was a very he was a pure devotee, and therefore he was not interested in anything. But because another Brahmin has promised, and that Brahmin's promise should not go in vain, otherwise everybody will speak ill about a Brahmin. And that Brahmin, because the elderly Brahmin is also a very nice devotee, therefore he went to this village to meet this Brahmin, elderly Brahmin. Now, what happens in between this time period is, when this elderly Brahmin reaches home and sees his family members, that's when he gets very scared that, Are, I have promised this young Brahmin that I will give my daughter in marriage, but seeing these family members now, I am feeling very scared that they will never agree to it. So then he reveals that, okay, I have given a promise like this, and I want to give my daughter's hand in marriage to this Brahmin. So his wife and his son, they get so angry with him. They say that, have you gone mad? That Brahmin, he has nothing. Definitely, he's trying to cheat you, and you have just got carried away. There is no need. What kind of promise? He has nothing, and what will he do? Even if he comes, then if we just show him one with this, one rod in hand, one stick in hand, one bamboo lathi in hand, he will just run away. He's alone. He cannot do anything. So don't worry. There is no need to give our daughter in marriage to this young Brahmin. So this old Brahmin, he thinks that okay, now what to do? Family members are not agreeing. He tried to convince them, but they are not agreeing at all. So ultimately, he agrees with them that okay, fine, whatever you say. So now this son and and this mother, the wife of the Brahmin, and all the other relatives, they come and they tell the Brahmin, the older Brahmin, that see, if this young Brahmin comes, you just have to keep quiet. You will not speak anything. You just have to say that you don't remember any making any such promise. That's all. And rest we will take care. Okay, fine. So now this young Brahmin comes to meet the old Brahmin. And when he comes, um, what happens is that these family members of the older Brahmin, they call the entire village. But see, this young Brahmin, this young boy fellow, he has nothing and he has the audacity to come and ask for our daughter's hand in marriage. So this young Brahmin, he says that no, 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 I have not come by myself. Actually, your father has promised me that he will marry his daughter to me. I was not interested. I in fact told him also that, I don't want to get married to your daughter. But he did not agree. He was very insistent. And at that time, this old Brahmin says, actually, I can't remember making any such promise. So this young Brahmin understands what has happened actually. But he doesn't say anything because the brother and the other relatives, they come with bamboo sticks in their hand, and seeing that this young Brahmin, he runs for his life that, okay, now they will hit and kill me. So therefore it is better to go away from here. So he runs back and he goes back. And then he goes back to Gopal, where they took the promise, goes back to Gopalji. And there he prays to Gopalji that, see, I made that old Brahmin take the promise in front of you because I wanted you to become the witness. Because when he took that promise, nobody else was around. And a Brahmin, if he makes a promise and if he does not keep it, then he falls down from the position of the Brahmin. And he's such a wonderful devotee. I don't want him to fall down. I don't want his character to be um, people to find faults with his character. Although I am not in need of anything, I'm not even interested to get married to his daughter, but just because he made a promise in front of you and you are the witness, therefore I request you to please kindly protect his Brahminical position by now coming and being witness to him. So, witness for the situation. So, as he was praying like this, Gopal starts speaking. The deity, from the deity, the voice comes that yes, don't worry. Um, you go there and you said that you tell them that he has made a promise in front of Gopal, in front of me, and that I have told you that yes, the promise was made. So you just go and tell them. So this young Brahmin says, no, 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 not like that, because they will not believe me. You have to come along with me to that village and you have to tell them yourself. So Gopal says, what are you saying? How can I? I am just a deity. Do you think I can walk? How can I walk? I'm just a deity here. Therefore, I cannot come along with you. But you can, if you want, you can bring all of them here. So this young Brahmini says, if as a deity you can speak to me, then as a deity you can also walk. Because you are Swarat, so you can do whatever you want. Therefore, please don't make all these excuses. I'm not going to listen to any of your excuses. So, like that, when the young Brahmin says this, Gopal, he starts smiling and he says, okay, then I will come along with you. You go and declare that I myself will come as Sakshi, witness to this promise. But I have a condition. So, what is that condition? That you have to cook 1 kg of rice for me, okay? And you have to feed me rice. Only rice is fine. No need for other things because I will feel very hungry after walking all this time. So you have to cook 1 kg rice and you have to feed me 1 kg rice every day. And another thing is, you will not look behind. You will walk in front and I will walk behind you. But you should not turn behind to see if I'm coming or not. Then I will not come. Then I will just stand wherever. As soon as you look behind, I will stand and I will just become um, s- um, take my form. I mean, my deity form will stay there only. Then it will not move after that. So the young Brahmin says, "Okay, I will not look behind and I will feed you 1 kg rice. But how will I know that you're coming behind me?" So he said, "Yes, when I walk behind you, you will hear my anklets that I'm walking. So you will be able to hear the anklet sound, knowing that I'm following you. So don't worry." So this young Brahmin said, "Okay." The news was sent that Sakshi Gopal, in front of whom the elderly Brahman has taken the promise, is going, Gopal ji, who in front of whom the promise was taken, himself is going to come as to give Sakshi, to give witness. Now, this news has spread in the entire village. Okay, and the older Brahmin, after getting the news, was very happy to hear the news that Gopal himself is going to come as Sakshi. And the other family members, because they were not devotees, so therefore they were saying, "Oh, as if the deity of Gopal is going to walk all the way from there and come and speak also. Do you think deities speak? Have you ever seen any deity open their mouth? Have you ever seen any deities walk? Huh? They don't walk, they don't speak, they just stand there. It is a deity, it is a murti, it is an idol. They don't have life." That is what the family members started saying. So they were not afraid. They said, "Let him come, we'll see. We'll make all the arrangements. We'll get more gundas and all, and we'll make all arrangements. You don't worry." And the older Brahmin was very happy. And the entire village was ready to witness this Gopalji coming as witness and giving Sakshi and giving his statement. So now the travel begins. 1,000 kilometers. Gopalji walks thousands of kilometers, hundreds of kilometers for his dear and pure devotees. And as this younger Brahmin was walking, he could hear the anklets. And how is Krishna walking? The deity form, not like a robot, tuck, tuck, not like that. He doesn't have material hands and legs. Nonetheless, he walks in a very stately way and accepts everything that is offered to him. This one line reminded me of this pastime. When Gopalji was walking behind this young Brahmin, it was in such a beautiful, um, in a stately manner. Chan, 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 chan. That is how Krishna was walking in a beautiful way. And just by the sound of the anklets, the Brahmin could understand how Krishna is walking, how beautifully he is walking. Not that deity means deity cannot move their hands and legs, so like a robot it is moving, tuck, 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 not like that. And every day he would cook, he would collect those um, wood, what is that? A log of woods, and then he would put fire and he would cook that 1 kg rice. So he was carrying all of that and he would keep it. He would not look behind, he would offer it. Gopalji would eat it. He would again clean and wash everything and carry it again and again as he would start walking. Gopalji would follow. Chan, chan, chan. So and then finally, when they reach just the outskirts of this village of the elderly Brahmin, at that time, suddenly the sound of the anklet stopped. So the Brahmin was walking in front, but he could not hear the sound of the anklets, and therefore he became very anxious. And immediately he says that Now, my lord, I have to turn and see because I am unable to hear the sound of your anklets. And he turns and he sees that Sakshi Gopal has taken his form. He's standing there as it is because he looked behind. But the very fact that Sakshi Gopal has himself walked all the way, because this deity weighs, I don't know, it is so heavy that nobody can carry this deity, and that too walking from such a distance, thousands of kilometers. It is impossible for this simple thin Brahmin to carry this deity, and everybody understood. The entire village got news that Sakshi Gopal has already come, and therefore they all rush to come to see Sakshi Gopal. This elderly Brahman also comes, his family members, they all come. When they see the deity of Sakshi Gopal standing there, immediately everybody falls at the lotus feet and understands that really the deity of Gopal has personally walked all these kilometers, all these hundreds of kilometers, just to give witness for this young Brahmin and this elderly Brahmin, because both of them are very dear to Gopalji, and to keep their position intact, Gopal himself came to protect them. That is how Krishna protects his devotees in all circumstances. So, although Krishna has no material hands and legs, but he walks in a very stately way. When if somebody just sees Krishna's walking, they will faint. and Krishna accepts everything that is offered to him. Of course, we should know what not to offer to him and what to offer to him. So everything offered with love and devotion. And when somebody has love and devotion, obviously they will not offer something to Krishna that Krishna has prohibited or forbidden from offering. So all that is accepted by Krishna, by the Supreme Lord. So just 1 kg of rice. Imagine Gopalji eating 1 kg of rice, nothing with the rice, just rice. This suggests that he has transcendental limbs and is therefore not impersonal. One who does not understand the Vedic principles simply stresses the impersonal material features of the supreme absolute truth, and thus unceremoniously calls the absolute truth impersonal. The impersonalist Mayavadi philosophers want to establish the absolute truth as impersonal. Impersonal means no personal form, no hands, no legs, can't speak, there is no form. And this we are talking about Krishna. In the deity form, he's speaking to his pure devotee, and pure devotee is saying, if you can speak, you can also walk. Chalo, abhi bahane mat banao, you come with me. Pure devotee is saying, and Krishna is saying, okay, okay, fine, fine. If you so insist, I will come along with you. But this contradicts the Vedic literature. What contradicts? This impersonalist philosophy. Although the Vedic literature confirms the fact that the supreme absolute truth has multiple energies, the Mayavadi impersonalist still tries to establish that the absolute truth has no energy. The fact remains, however, that the absolute truth is full of energy and is a person as well. He's a person. It is not possible to establish him as impersonal. So, with that, we'll pause here for today. And Krishna willing, we'll continue reading tomorrow. Thank you very much for your time association. So if you have a question, then I'll just stop this recording and then we'll take the question. Vanchakalpatrubyascha Kripasindhivach Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Nama Anantapati Vaishnav Panditi Jai Shri Srimad Shri Vijay Prataka Swami Guru Maharaj Ki Jai Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Nitai Gaur Premanandi
हरि बोल।